Welcome, dear friends of art. We are in Dubai here at the International Art Fair, and as you know, from time to time I present to you some artists personally, and this time we choose the opportunity to invite Mohammed Kazem for a little talk about art. I'm very happy to have him here because this is our link to the United Arab Emirates. He is from Dubai. I showed him the first time in Mainz in 2003 and several times in between. And now we want to speak a little bit about his artworks and Dubai and the Emirates and so on. So first, the Artuba started about 15 years ago. Yeah. And is there any development, or was it from the beginning like it is today, from your idea, from your...
Yeah, I think it's Artuba started since 15 years, and more than international galleries now existing here, and it's very important platform for the artists, not only in UAE, also for people from Arab country, North India, international art galleries here. We're also Artuba organizing a lot of seminar, group exhibitions. They commission some art projects here. So it's an important platform for all the curators and artists to meet here. It's not only as commercial, also it is cultural platform.
So, and we are happy to be part of this cultural platform, let's say. We are some of the few Europeans, but it's a quite international exhibition, and we are very proud to be in the hall where the famous European galleries are. But now I like to approach to the art themselves. So here we have a direction work. Maybe you just explain some words about the ideas. So it's a blue color in the back. We see numbers and letters, and the letters and numbers are white and the paper is scratched. But what is the idea of this work?
Okay, first I want to tell you, this is the first time where I put two techniques together. That's never happened in my practice. Okay. The scratches, which I'm doing since more than 30 years, and the coordinates, which I'm doing also from late 90s. So the idea is called, entitled this work, Direction Steps. So I take example, one coordinate from here and one coordinate from different country. So in order to move that, keep that idea to have a movement on the surface of the paper, so I scratch the papers. So this part of the work is moving forever because it's reacting with the natural light and artificial light. Example, if you take this work and put them in the drawer, you are shutting the sounds. So again, it's a movable. It looks like a print work, but it's also, I intentionally don't record the sound because I want people look to the sound, and the shades moves when the light is moves.
Sure.
So this work has infinity movement as other scratches work.
You did also some receiving light works, collecting light works. So you took white paper and you started to collect the light, and here is it connected with it, because you see the movement, you see time, the movement of the day by changing of the light of the sun, for example. And to this, I remember the early work with the two flags. Mohammed standing beside that. I think it was the position in Sharjah where later the expo center was built. Whatever.
Yeah, that was before Expo was built.
Before.
It was in '97 where I was also interacting with the elements coming to the city with the flags. Flags was kept it between the border between the Sharjah and Dubai. And this flag has only color, but does not refer to any countries. So now if you go to that place, it has been filled with all towers and the building and constructions and more the populations. So again, the city is growing not only vertically, also creeping horizontally. So this is which is so sometimes I'm using all these elements, old elements. I bring them back to my practice. But
and it shows also time passing by, like the time of the day with the light and shadow.
So, and also with this work which I made, especially with the scratches, so I give actually people, they think that this work is very similar. It's not. Because, example, you did work about the art and movement. And you had example when you did work of when ideas become form.
Yes.
So I made a work which has related with the form. So you can see
the triangle.
Triangles to that triangle different shape, or to scratch the square, or sound of the square, or sound of the circle, which are all this work.
Triangle.
Yeah. So all this the things with elements of the coordinates and the scratches is only for me materials now. But then I raise several issues.
So it's not important which coordinates it is, if it's Shanghai or Abu Dhabi, if it's here or there.
Yeah, because it's movable. It doesn't matter. But it's only the ideas important. But actually, for example, if you go to any capital in any country, they choose one for the capital as a coordinates.
But it's just one example.
Just one example. But when you move one step, you are
completely different.
So that's why I'm also giving myself freedom to manipulate with this coordinates.
Aesthetically speaking, is this also some distinction for the work that you decide sometimes? I mean, the coordination of the parts of this, it's aesthetically decided, but not the numbers you choose. You say, oh, I feel more familiar to 8 or to 0, so I choose coordinates with a lot of 8 and 0. No, it doesn't matter.
Listen, as example, if I choose numbers, let's just say 8 or 6 or 7, but then I said, okay, my 8 doesn't work, so I use the time.
Okay.
So I take the
numbers. Take 1 hour later, and then it's a 7 instead of an 8.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so there we have aesthetic decisions too.
Yeah.
But one more question before we look at the other works. I remember the first thing that I saw, I mean, which I was so impressed by the Sharjah Biennale, the direction work, the video film that was, let's say, monumental, quantified in the Biennale in Venice in 2013. This direction work, when you had these wooden plates and you went out with the boat, this is completely related to that, yeah?
Yeah, all this work, it has relation together. Okay, from even the work which does not have a number. Recently, I did work with the example paper, and I used normal water from a pipe from the home, and that water actually came from the sea. But when I mix them with the color, so I titled them coordinates. But the coordinates, you don't see them free. So maybe came from different oceans. It's more freedom. So, but with regard to that work in 2002, that the first work, why I did it, because you have been organized exhibition in Sharjah. It was a waters and space, and so that it was impact on my practice when I was young, especially Heinz Gabmeyer when he used a map and the white panels and this. So I had also spoke with Hassan that I have an idea about the sea, so can you help me to document that work? So we made a wooden panel. It's the same copy of this 10 panels. We threw them I threw them in Indian Ocean, opposite of Arabian Sea.
The Strait of Hormuz, huh?
Yeah, Arabian Sea. It is in the eastern part of in Fujairah. Fujairah. So this piece is also giving themselves freedom to move to different places. But then when I showed the work in the Sharjah Biennial, and also you invited me for the exhibition number time sign. So there's a white panel, and that white panel, it was a sign for this work which is lost. I don't know where it is. But then later, before the Venice in 2005, I said I came back to this idea, and I said, no, I have to do something to feel that you are lost and crossing borders. So I made a cylinder, small cylinder. Then I show after your exhibition in Singapore Biennial, curated by Fumio Nanjo.
Fumio Nanjo, I knew. Wonderful curator.
So then it's kept with me for 8 years until Venice Biennial came. Then they told me, okay, which work you could not realize? I said, maybe this work. So in half an hour, we decided, me and Rim Fada, the curator of the Guggenheim that time. So we went, the technology existing. We filmed again in Fujairah, and we filmed again in UK. So we found a company where customizing, it was very...
And to build this dome. Globe.
So there's a team who came from...
It was 360 degree film,
film. So where the people really can, in 30 seconds, they can interact and go in this building, and they feeling that they are moving. So these people, they don't know that this major project came from white panel.
Yeah, yeah. But one thing, one last question to this, but it's interesting for me to understand and to know is if you hear the title direction, you have the feeling, oh, is this direction?
Yeah.
And you do the opposite with it.
Yeah,
you make the world free of directions because you choose in plenty directions.
Yeah, because when I
all directions are right.
Yeah.
If you say, oh, it's not east and west and north. No, they're all directions.
So
global directions.
Global directions. And one thing that why I titled directions, because when I lost in the sea, I was. Because you see the horizon 360 degrees, you don't know where's the location, where your location.
Absolutely.
And also I'm not using the GPS to give the function of train station example, to take you from here to here.
No.
I'm choosing
art is free.
Free.
It does not need to, like fixing nothing, does not fix nothing.
Not fix nothing, yeah.
We have a look at the other work there, because you developed for our exhibition. We are here now. So when we had the exhibition in Mainz, you know, the publisher has always a nice book to present, and this is not only a book about the exhibition at that time, but also about the numerous works of Mohammed. Here we see, for example, the flag works. By the way, just a small point in between. This morning I looked out of the window of my hotel and I saw exactly this flag, and I thought, oh, today I will meet Mohammed. It's a sign.
Great.
And for the Kaduro, you made these two little prints for our book.
Yeah.
It's called Kaduro Directions because there are specific coordinates behind.
Yeah. This is often
not Singapore, it's not Abu Dhabi.
It's a building itself. So it came first from the idea when ideas become form. Is number one. Number two, when you invited me before the show to see the space and how to interact, immediately while you are taking me with showing me the space, so I came with an idea to do something has relation with the form of the Kaduro.
Yeah, which so looks like that. Or we have it here as well,
And I took some numbers from the corners, shapes of the Kaduro.
Okay.
So that's why it has a slightly similar shape.
Homage.
Oh, homage, yeah, somehow. So then when I made it, I started with the print work. Then I decided, okay, let's go to different material. It will be nice. Sometimes sunlight, sometimes blue sky, sometimes green, which is outside green, you know, around that. So you have to see the elements, not only building, also
which is around.
Surround of the building.
And the red is a terrace. No, but here you developed this idea still on, and you have put light with it. This time it's artificial light, not sunlight.
Yeah, this is artificial light. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, all the material has a beauty, you know.
Yes.
This work can be scratches, which I made in the previous work. But also, I'm also giving myself more freedom to choose different materials, investigate of the different materials. I don't really stuck with one media.
Yeah, the special thing is also that not only you call them direction, even though you have not specific direction, but also here you have a constructive form.
Yeah.
And then it's quite poetic through the light.
Yeah.
As you have the constructive form in the blue work, and you have the poetic aspect in the scratches of the surface.
Of course,
So it's very sensitive.
Yeah.
And here there's something special. We did for this very special time in our life. We hope not to have it again, but we did the best out of it. So.
Actually, I remember you have been called me.
Yes.
And you told me you have exhibition about the corona. And you told me, do think about it, and we have a few artists. We have to put the works together.
Yeah. The idea was that I wanted we all suffered from this time.
Yes, true.
And I wanted to this corona pandemic is something that is horrible for the whole world. Pandemic.
Yeah.
And I said, the only thing to make us survive can be done by artists.
Yes, true.
So I asked some of the artists, can you give some good aspect for that, or can you find something?
You see, I will tell you, there's conventionally in the visual art, in the history of the art, where you go to the color of like a after image, they call them, like a red. When you look to the red, you
have some
green.
Yeah.
and yellow it comes with the purple,
yeah.
and with the go to the blue it comes
orange
comes. So the images of the corona in the media, it became after image in our brain.
Yes, yes,
for
absolutely.
Me, it looks like it's stuck every day because we never saw but how it looks like. That's
absolutely.
So that's why when you asked me, I said, okay, now I relate that with after image because we're sitting at home and receiving these images. So how we don't know how.
And here you did first the scratches or first the color?
No, first I improvised. First, first I scratches, then I.
In a form of you started in the center and you go outside.
No, then I wash this part with water. Then I use acrylic ink. I drop acrylic ink. So that's why it is a spread. It is a spread on the surface of the paper.
And here also with water, and but just one point, and here
several points. And then I did some of them with full scratching, little scratching, and now I have different with also circle. I have a lot of them. I made many of them. So when I started,
inspired by me,
of course,
And these are little earlier ones, which is not the square. It almost seemed to relate to Glattfelder because it is the same shape. It's not the square, but it looks like paper being seen from a distance and collecting light.
And it's sometimes when you will see the light on the floor, like a shape comes. So I took them
from a window or something.
Something. It's very simple work. Again, has form. It's also very close to those work which I made scratches of form, triangle.
Yeah, but it seems like a shaped canvas.
Shaped canvas, it's true.
Yeah, so we have here just some short aspects of Mohammed Kazem's work, but I think it gives a good view to what we can see here in Dubai at the booth. And we approach again a new exhibition in Mainz, Mohammed. And then we will see which directions you take until then. In about 2 years, we will see you again with a beautiful one-man show in Mainz. And then, but he will works of him will be visible also on the next Düsseldorf Art Fair, in Venice for the Biennale, and in Karlsruhe for the Art Fair.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
So we thank you if you come by, have a look at the works. And if you have more questions about Mohammed Kazem, it will be our pleasure to help you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.